back to Everything College. I'm your host, Christina Parker, supporting your college navigation while minimizing debt. So, I want to first go ahead and shout out our coffee giveaway winner. Goes out to Ashley. Your information is going to be somewhere on this video. Please go ahead and reach out to me on my Instagram at 4 Essential Students, which is in the description below, or you can go ahead and also comment your Cash App on this video, and I will go ahead and send you something to support your wellness or your late nights for your application season or even finals. If you're interested in entering the giveaway, go ahead and follow the instructions in the description below. So today I'm going to be talking about how I got my university to give me $60,000 to fund my educational pursuits. So there is a lot to this story, and unfortunately I can only upload a 15-minute video. So if there's something that you would like me to kind of go more in depth in, please go ahead and comment that below, okay? So, in one of my videos, if you haven't watched all my videos, please go back and watch all my videos. I talked about how I finessed my way into getting into the University of Michigan, despite having a 2.8 GPA when they required a 3.5 GPA, right? So after I got in, right, I was like, anything is possible. I do not want to go to school if I have to pay anything, right? So I looked at my package. They gave me crumbs. Like, they really didn't give me anything. This is a program where it cost me $140,000, $50,000 for tuition. I'm an out-of-state student. And I was like, I'm just not going to do it. I was misled in undergrad and took out a lot of loans in undergrad, and I didn't want to cripple my future self financially by trying to pursue education, right? So I was like, I'm not doing it. So the first thing I did, right, I reached out to, well, actually before that, I made a video that we're going to be talking about in a different YouTube that got a lot of views and a lot of people's attention. And that was my first fundraising, right? So I got X amount of money from that. So I used that as a way to kind of show people that I was serious about going to this school, and I had a lot of people that were rooting for me, right? So first thing I did was I reached out to the senator who is over in Ann Arbor, because I was going to be his constituent. So I reached out to them, I wrote him a letter, and I basically was just kind of like, was trying to finesse my way into getting in-state tuition, because in-state tuition was half of what I would have had to pay for in-state tuition, out-of-state tuition, which is what I pay for now. So I was reaching out kind of like to trying to finesse that situation, but they were so helpful. They helped a lot with connections and a lot with also my first fundraising. And basically they're like, yo, the school usually has additional money that you can request. You should reach out to this person who's over the social work program. So I was like, yes, okay, cool. Before I reached out to him, though, I reached out to my counselor, who, she was helpful in the sense of, like, she provided me the necessary document in order to petition the school for additional aid, but she wasn't helpful in anything other than that, right? So I was like, okay, like, you know, like, whatever. So I also was like, yeah, I'm short this much money. And when I said that, like, she made it seem as though, like, yeah, kid, like, you're not going to, the school is not going to give you that much money. So that kind of halted my reaching out to the director and then actually eventually turning in that petition. So in the midst of that, right, I'm like interviewing and going through the process for another school, because I've kind of given up on University of Michigan, because I was like, bro, they're not going to give me any money. Like, I don't know what to do. So in the midst of doing that with another school, I'm paying attention to what's happening politically. So the CARES Act passed that gave a certain amount of money to universities, and universities had to give half of that to students. So then I'm like, I got it. I was like, I looked at the numbers because that was all public information. And I realized that, I do not remember the exact number, but they gave the school, I think, like $3 million, and like 1.5 million had to go to students or something like that, y'all. I do not remember the exact number, but it was a hefty amount of money, right? Part of that went to like support with like like a certain amount of money for to support students in the transition to virtual learning, which I also have on my channel if you want to go check that out. So I was like, yo, they have money. They have more money than they had in the past. So I'm going to ask for the whole shebang, right? The whole shebang. So I reached out to the director. I told him, my number. He didn't make it seem like that was ridiculous. He told me to go ahead and do the petition. So then, boom, I started to do the petition. But in the midst of me doing the petition, right, all these, was in my head. And I was just like, dang, maybe if I ask for this much money, they're going to tell me no. In hindsight, I really don't know if that was what benefited me or not. Because I don't know if I would have asked for it all, like if I would have got it all, or if me actually asking for it in 2 rounds was actually helped me get it. But in hindsight, going back, I would have just asked for it all. I would have saved myself the work of doing it twice. Because all they could have did was tell me no, and I probably would have asked again anyways. So it was pretty easy. I had to like do a breakdown of what my budget is for the month compared to what I'm earning, and then to kind of show this is what my need is. So I ended up asking for, I do not remember the exact amount, y'all. It was between $25,000 and $30,000, right? And so as for that amount of money, right, I'm gonna tell you, I'll be honest with y'all, right? I wasn't in a good mental space, okay? I was very depressed. This was like, I turned in this request like in June. I was kind of depressed. I was like, where's my life going? So many things that happened in my life, right? So when I was writing this, I literally pulled myself off the couch. I crawled to my desk. I got up there, and it took all the energy that I had. Literally, it took all the energy that I had to write this, to ask for money. Because I'm a very prideful person, and I was just not in a good place, and I just didn't have the emotional energy to give it to them. But I still gave it to them. I just pulled it out of me, and I was like, this is it, right? Grammar was probably off. I still haven't reread it. I do not want to, honestly. But what was there was really my heart and my intentions, and me making a effort of, I've done everything, right? I applied for scholarships. I've done everything. This is what I need. And if you do not give it to me, I will not go to this university. And it wasn't a bluff. It wasn't I just want to no, I will not go to your university unless you give me this money, right? And they had this amount of money given to support students to help them go to school. So I'm like, I'm not going to ask you for $5,000. I'm not going to ask you for $10,000. I'm going to ask you for what I need, right? Even though I didn't ask for it all at that moment. So fast forward, they end up telling me yes. I was super excited, but then I was like, yo, I still need more money though. Cause I was serious, and I still have to fundraise, y'all. So that's gonna come up, and I'm gonna tell y'all about that journey as well. But I was like, I am not kidding, y'all. I'm not coming unless I need all the money. So then I was like, yo, I'm still short for this first year. I think I was short like 15,000 or something of like that. I ended up fundraising between that time $6,000 more, right? So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask again, right? A lot of people were advising me not to ask again, but I don't listen to people, y'all. So I didn't really care. So I did it again. I sat down. I was sad because I was like, yo, like, what are the chances of them telling me yes twice, right? I was like, but you'll never know unless you try, right? So I wrote it up again, which was better than what I wrote the first time, but I still didn't have the energy to give, right? So I was like, whatever, this is what it is. I was like, this is what I've done in this time. But I need this amount of money to not only support me for this year, but also to support me for next year. And guess what? They gave me $30,000, right? And I think there's a lot of things that played into my favor. One being that I had done a lot of work prior to even asking them for money. And I wrote to that. I was like, I'm not asking you as a first choice. I'm asking you as my last choice. Because if you don't provide me with this, then there is just no way that I'm going to school. And in another video that I hope you're subscribed to right now, I'm going to be going over what was my leverage, because I did have leverage, and I do want to provide y'all with that resource, because I think that I know that that is what supported me in actually getting that money, in addition to me paying attention politically. If you do not pay attention to politics, it can allow money to slip from a college student's fingertips. And I really do mean that. Like, you have to pay attention to politics. You have to be bold. You have to ask for what you need. You have to put in the work and in the effort to do so. I think that a lot of people ask for the $5,000 even though they need $10,000 or $15,000 because they're scared of no. Right? I'm gonna shoot high. This is how negotiation works, right? I'm gonna tell you 30, right? And if you're like no, well then I'm gonna ask for 20, you know? And then I'm gonna try to get the other 10 from someone else. And if you tell me no for 20, then I'm gonna ask for 10 and try to get the 20 from someone else, right? You cannot allow fear to be the dictator to why you do not even try. There's so much money in this world, and all we have to do is be creative in how we tap into it, right? So I don't know if I'm the first student to ever ask a university for this much money. I really hope not. But I know that my boldness, my assertiveness, and then also my ability to kind of reach out to key players to support in my ask. It was like, I didn't just reach to the school first. I reached out to a senator who had connections. From the senator, I was connected to the director of the program who, you know what I'm saying, mans and puts a signature on giving the money away. Then I was connecting to different people on campus, and then I put in this document. So before I even did it, people knew me before I even did it. Like, people had already watched the video. People at the school had donated. People were invested in not only my story, but also in trying to see me win, trying to see me make it. So in other videos, I'm going to talk about literally how do you create that leverage? How do you locate different people who could be supportive in kind of getting you in the door, and potentially connecting you to different resources for you to get additional money. But for all of y'all that are out there, right, whether you're in application season, whether you are undergrad, whether you're grad school, whether you are a current student right now, if you are in need of financially, right, reach out to your school. And sometimes we reach out to the wrong people, right? Figure out who's the right person to reach out to, and just reach out to them and ask them for what you need. Because the only thing that they can do is they can tell you no. And in the business of schools, right, you're going to hit a whole bunch of closed doors before you find the right one to open it, right? And the people who are sometimes on a bottom level are the ones that are going to be able to support you the most, right? Sometimes you have to go through them in order to get to the managers or the directors, because they have the say so and they can finesse things to support you in getting X amount of money or waiving whatever it is, right? So really just being bold about it, thinking about who are the key players, reaching out to them, asking questions, and really just trying to pull yourself to do the tasks needed in order for you to potentially get that funding. I hope that this was helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, you could go ahead and put that in the comments below. Read the description to enter into our weekly coffee giveaway. And till next time, stay studious.